Welcome back to my channel. Here's my makeup look today. It's very purple and it's a little bit dramatic. I used the Colourpop Play It Jewel palette for the eyes. Let me know if you like how this look turned out, and of course you can always check the description box down below the video for a list of all the products that I used on my face today. If you can hear my ceiling fan, I have it on like the highest speed today because it is warm today. I dressed for fall in my little fall dress with my little tights on, and oh my goodness, I'm so warm, but I can't take my outfit off until I finish my look. It's been very nice recently. The past week, maybe a little bit longer than a week, maybe a couple weeks, it's been very it's been cooling off. We got a little bit of a cold front, and it's been really nice. And then today it was just so hot. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna light my little coffee candle. This is a little like pot holder for like a plant that my sister had. She took the plant out of it and she gave me the holder, and it's really cute and it fits my little coffee candle perfectly. And I can kind of carry it around like an old Victorian child. I'm gonna start off with a little. Let's try that one again. I'm starting off with this pear serum oil. This is by byroe. Kinda smells a little bit like super glue. This is a pear serum oil, so it's not necessarily technically a primer. It's just like a serum. It's like skincare, but it does prime. So I've used it before as a primer and I like it. It's really smooth. I think I'm going to use a powder foundation today. This one right here by CoverGirl, I was really obsessed with a couple of years ago, like all of 21 and half of 22. I was really into this foundation. This is the CoverGirl Clean Powder Foundation. I have the shade 510 Classic Ivory, which might be the lightest shade. So if I'm doing a powder foundation, I'm going to do my concealer before foundation and put a little bit underneath my eyes. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, and I have the shade Fair Warm. And if I'm doing a powder foundation, I'm taking the concealer, like I'm putting it underneath my eyes, but I'm also bringing it down also on top of my lids, which I usually do, but bringing it down beside my nose because this foundation doesn't cover like all of the redness on my face. It has good coverage from my memory, but it's not like perfect, obviously. And to blend in this concealer, I'm using this little brush that I really like for concealer. This is a Luxie brush. I'm pretty sure it was a Harley Quinn. That's what the colors are from. It says Good Night on it. It was a Harley Quinn like collab with potentially BoxyCharm or maybe Ipsy. I could be wrong, but that's where I got it from, and it works really nice. I'm gonna use this Morphe brush. There's not a number or a name, but this is the one I'm gonna use for my powder foundation. It's a flatter, like bigger brush, and I'm kind of putting this all over my face like I would regular powder. I'm just making sure to I'm working in smaller sections and just kind of building it up as I go along. This shade matches me pretty well, but it's still a little bit grayish and the ink's a little bit too dark. I don't know if that's noticeable on camera, but in person, if I only put it on my face, it's a little bit noticeable that it's a little bit of a different color. So I blend it down my neck, and I like the finish it gives. It looks really nice. It's definitely not full coverage, but it's buildable, which is nice. So like I can just, if I want to put a little bit more like here, I can just kind of stamp it here instead of swiping it. Makes me quite matte. I got these little powder puffs today from e.l.f. I was going to use them to set my under eye powder. I don't necessarily need to, but I'm going to just try one of these out, putting this foundation underneath my eyes, just like pressing it, seeing if I can just like build it up with one of these little puffs. They're the Halo Glow Pinky Puffs. There's 3 of them in this little box. I think that's helping. I think it is giving me a little bit more coverage underneath my eyes. For my eyeshadow today, I raided my sister's makeup collection, and she has this palette. This is by Colourpop, I'm pretty certain. And it's called the Play It Jewel palette. Bunch of really pretty like jewel like colors. I'm gonna go with a really deep purpley burgundy-ish look. So I'm starting with the shade Mosaic first. It's like this deep wine color, and I'm putting it on this denser pencil brush, and I'm stamping this shadow along the outer corner of my eye in a winged shape. And then I'm taking a slightly larger brush to put a little bit more of the shade on my outer corner, still keeping that wing shape, and then I'm just gradually blending it upwards, dragging the tail towards the tail of my brow. And I'm also bringing it inwards, trying to keep it mostly not on the lid, just mostly in my crease. I'm using this little dual-sided brush that's from the Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette. So it has a pencil on one side and then like a denser crease brush on the other. Did a little wing shape on there, and then I'm building up that purple shade and just gradually building it up, blending it until I've got similar shapes. Next up, I'm grabbing the shade Surreal on that same pencil brush, and I'm running this along my lower lashes. And then I'm buffing out with the larger brush and the first shade Mosaic. Next up, I'm taking this brown pencil liner from CoverGirl, and I'm tightlining all along my water lines, plus all the way into the inner corner. So for my lids, I'm taking the shade Treasure Box first on my finger, and I'm packing that onto the outer half of my lid. And then for the inner half of my lid, I'm grabbing the shade Moving Colors, and I'm using a small brush to place this on the remainder of my lid and to really put it exactly where I want on the inner corner. I'm taking the shade Moving Colors, and I'm putting a little bit of it on my lower lash line on the very inner corner, and I'm connecting it to the shadow on the top. Next up, I'm grabbing the shade Rare Earth on my finger, and I'm patting a little bit of this on the center of my lids to kind of blend those two previous shades together. So I drawed on a couple of wings. It's impossible to film me lining my eyes, but I lined my eyes with a black pencil kohl liner, and I drew on some little wings, and then I went over top of the wings with the NYX Epic Ink Liner in Graham Cracker because I wanted them to be a little bit pointier and also less black and more kind of a dark brown. So I went ahead and filled in my eyebrows, and for my eyebrows I used the that CoverGirl brown liner that I used on my water lines, and I think it worked really good for eyebrows. I love the color. I've been trying to go with a darker brow. I always just kind of rush through them and barely fill them in, and they look so light in pictures, and it kind of throws off the whole look, and especially because it's fall, so I'm doing a lot of darker looks, so I figure a darker brow fits. And also, I'm fixing to dye my hair. I know I mentioned it a couple of months or so ago, but I'm fixing to dye my hair dark brown for fall. I was supposed to do it at the end of September, and then I forgot because we had a hurricane at the end of September, so I couldn't do it right then. But I'm fixing to do it soon. I think I might do it this weekend. I'm going to a masquerade ball in a couple of weeks. It's a fundraiser for the place that I work, and I'm considering doing and I'm gonna dye my hair before then, and also I'm considering doing a get ready with me for that. I think that would be a really fun little video. I have to go back to my face now, and I'm going to stick to this palette for my blush and highlighter. I'm using the shade Geode Life for my blush, plus a little bit on my nose, maybe a little bit on the chin. For highlighter, I'm going with the very first shade in the palette called Crystalline on this fan brush by Morphe. Taking a little bit of, oh man, this is a beautiful highlighter. Oh my goodness. So shiny. I'm also going to put a little bit of this on my nose. Usually I like using my finger for this a little bit better, and then kind of blend it in with the brush. Also putting a little bit of the same shade underneath my brow bone for a little highlight there. I want to try this lipstick out. I got it today. It's by Milani, and I have another shade that I use a lot for videos. It's like a darker nude, darker purpley one, but this one is a little bit lighter. This one is called Pretty Natural. And the lip liner that I'm using is the LA Girl Perfect Precision Lip Liner in the shade Blushing. I realize now that that highlighter that or the eyeshadow that I'm using for my highlighter is very sparkly. So I don't know if it shows up on camera, but I'm quite glittery in person. I really hope that you enjoyed watching. Here's a little video of my outfit that I'm wearing today. I found this in the back of my closet. I found this really like warm long sleeved fall dress, and I love the colors of it. And I also put on some black tights and then my knee-high boots. For my jewelry, I have my TTPD little logo necklace from Taylor's store. I also have this this is a little vintage necklace that I got from, it's like gold with like little pearls or like little pearl like beads. I got it from a thrift store. And then I have some little earrings. And that's the look. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again.